first quarter. They got away from you early. Not the ideal start when you're on the road, to state the obvious, but where do you think that went wrong for you guys?
Yeah, I think we had a couple of opportunities early. And then, you're right, they got right on top. I thought, some big two kicking goals first quarter, D50 stoppage goal. And, we really wanted to... I think the feedback throughout the competition, we looked at some really high-performing teams before we come in, like just verbally, it was like Geelong, obviously, with their tackle count and the Pies with theirs and how they turned it around. So, and just the language, even some of the coaches were just great, like Hunt and pressure. And so we wanted to bring that, but I thought we lacked a bit of composure with our ball use and they just bounced out pretty quick, So, look, it was disappointing. Yeah, then we get in that arm wrestle, not an arm wrestle, but I thought we balanced up at quarter time. In a real sense, we changed a few things. So I thought our fight was reasonably strong. But our ball use was a bit erratic, wasn't as composed as we'd like it. They just bounced out a lot. But more importantly, the front half stuff there, which we know they're a good front half team, and this is an interesting ground. Reminds me of the old Subiaco, like so skinny, and which is fine. It's like Geelong's ground. So, but I thought either their pressure or our lack of composure, we didn't set the field and provide the options required, or they were there and we didn't take them. I don't know, I think it was a multitude of factors. We turned the ball over and they went back. So ultimately, the clearance game, they got a top in the middle, but that was okay around the ground. I think it was 6-3 to their 5, but they've kicked, I think, 12-6 off possession game, turnover, front half, back half. And really, typically, that was a strength of ours. We've kicked 3-7. So same amount of opportunities, possession game, we went inside basically 32, 34 times each, but we didn't score as efficient as they did. So, there's a lot to work on for us. We knew we were young and it was going to be a challenge. We would have looked for better than that, but there was some fight at times, and then even early in the last, it was like 7 entries to 1, but I thought they just scored pretty easily against us. So we thought we'd be a little bit undersized down back. We knew that, but I thought they looked quick at times. They've certainly built to that team, and a few of those additions have just given them a bit more depth. So, I think everyone played their part. But in a real sense, we fought on. We had 3 or 4 debutants. So, look, we've got to walk away. I'll just check in with the players. We're just got to, under pressure, be able to deliver what we've been working on. We have tried to shift away from control a bit, but at half-time we just said a little bit more composure in our front half. And I thought that worked. I thought we shifted the ball better and we looked a lot more dangerous. Even early in the third, I just thought 20-metre snaps, we just should have kicked some goals. And then I think, did we get to 30? Then they just went bang, bang, bang. So that made it difficult. So, look, I thought Wilson as a second-year player, we've been through with him over summer. I think out of the wreck, you go, gee, he's going to be a good player. I think we unearthed Hall. I think he's got a bit of work to do, but he looked like it. I thought Mason Wood forward was really dangerous. And then, the other debutant's got a taste for it and probably think, geez, that's a hard caper. So, we've got a lot of work to do, but we know that. I mean, we've been really competitive for final series, but we've got to keep building. The Crows have been building for 6 years, so, they've got their challenges like we all have.
How much does that kind of stuff come down to being a bit undermanned? You've got lots of injuries,
I don't like to use excuses. It's next man up, but clearly we're a young list that gets a bit more vulnerable, but that's the path we've chosen. But we also want to be better than that. So we've got a growth mindset. Some really valuable lessons, and I think when we got it right and we played with better method, we're in the game. Our ground ball, we win the ground ball. So I just thought, our ability to defend them and the ground was not at the level that's required. I'm used to delivering. So coaches and players, we've got a bit of work to do.
How do you see the debutants today? Obviously, Hall could have even kicked a couple more. Harry Boyd.
Yeah, he gave that one away. Yeah, I thought I touched on him, but I can go through it again. Thought Hall, bit to work on. Harry Boyd really fought. I think O'Brien's a really accomplished AFL ruckman. I think O'Brien probably took the colours and Rowe would be better for the run. So, Yeah, and Liam O'Connell, he gets a taste of it. It was a very difficult day, and a few of our senior players are normally up were a bit down today, so that makes the load a bit harder. I thought Jack McRae just does what, he'll have bits and pieces, but gee, 12 clearances, 15 ground ball, had some opportunities. So, yeah, I think we'll take that. There's probably a few of our senior players who go, yeah, I could have been a bit better.
How are you looking personnel-wise, Mitch Owens?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, don't know. I'll get to the medical team. We were really optimistic he would play, and they were a bit more conservative on it. So, look, I don't think it's about one player. So, but in fairness, we're hopeful of him next week. Sean will be the week after. I think Liam Henry will be available. There's Butler around. There's a couple others, So Alex Tarou should play in a couple of weeks in the seconds. Our pick 8, who's really exciting, and then we got obviously Howard and Phillip, who's handy, right? You guys as South Australians know him. So look, but you can't live in that space. You play what is in front of you, and we take a lot of feedback. I'm probably more disappointed in our lack of composure to the plan. But pressure does funny things to people and coaches.
How's Naz? He was cramping pretty badly and then tried to come back on and then looked like he started cramping again. Is it just cramp? No injury or anything?
Yeah, I think when you look around the league, you got to get the pickle juice into you. I think Hilly cramped. Naz worked hard and cramped. I'm sure. Yeah, I think we're all clear. You always say that with a bit of trepidation, but.
Roland O'Kelly looked like he obviously he's had an interrupted pre-season, but looked like he put up a little sort in the first quarter, but was able to keep.
Yeah, no, I said anything. I think he was a bit tired and sore at the end. It's a tough business, but we needed some height forward. If Rowe didn't play, it just became an idiot. Really, we lost a really good winger in Wood. He's an All-Australian winger almost, and we had to play him forward. So that's okay. I thought it was a win for us. I thought he was really dangerous and gave us a real focal point. I liked his game. You know what I mean? So, but ideally we get the other forwards back and he's back on the wing, right?
Caminiti in defence to kind of in the second half. Is that something you're going to look at a bit more?
Well, we've tried it. At the end of the day, I thought we've got to keep building there. We're a little bit thin there. And I thought it'd be good to have a look at him. Yeah, and you get to, it's called empathy, right? You understand when you're a forward, the actions you've got to deliver, what's happening to the backs if you're not delivering them. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, just with that. Just check how you help. Have you got any clarity about him? How's he going?
Yeah, that's a bit left field. What do you know?
Sorry?
What do you know about it?
No, I was just wondering any clarity about his situation.
Yeah, we've got crystal clear clarity. So that's okay, but have you got any background? I've got to feel you're in from pre-season.
Yeah, no, I know the background.
Which is? What's the background?
That he went to hospital over Christmas. And
why?
Because he needed his blood flushed and all that sort of
No, he had an infection in his knee. So he got a staph, without all the gory details of his medical record. So he had a super summer, he had a blister, had staph on it, bumps his knee internally, goes up, and then you've got a situation that you're dealing with. So it was a very significant period of time. Had a number of operations, and we say flush, but he had 7 litres of saline put through his knee a number of times in a number of days and arthroscope. So as a club, we wrapped a lot of care around him, went in every day, and his family, and he's making ground. He's finally got out of the pool to on legs. So the human side is really important on this one. I like your curiosity, but anyone that understands what's occurred understands how delicate, and it's going to be a bit of a haul for him. Thank you.